Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today I'm going to talk about how we are separate from other human beings and how we perceive that separation. Now, I'm not going to be in denial of the fact that there is a physical me stood here recording this, and that there is a physical you listening to this, and that there are other physical things around me, a microphone and a computer and a bottle of water and a phone and other things that you might expect to have on my desk. I won't go through the list of all of them. But more really that the connection that we have with other human beings is sometimes interfered with. In fact, it is always interfered with by our conditioned thinking. Now, the way where you might see this mostly is just in your interactions with other people. And here's, some interesting comparison to do where, there will be some people who you totally get on with. And even, I do a lot of business conversations and one-to-ones and things like that. And there are some people we get into a room with each other, a Zoom room invariably, and there's an immediate connection and there is an immediate flow in the conversation, and there's not really any strange uncomfortable moments or anything. And of course I'm telling you this from my perception of these conversations. And there are other interactions that we have with other people where it seems that we are being rubbed up the wrong way. But I think in our beautiful interactions, we can just accept that in that moment we are present, we are listening probably. We've probably got less on our minds. Something in that person hasn't brought us to the place of our conditioned beliefs and thinking about certain people like that. They haven't said anything that's ended up not that we're triggered by other people, but that's ending up a thought storm coming on inside us that then makes us feel detached from that person. We can just enjoy those ones, can't we? Those lovely interactions that feel very much in flow. But then what is to be seen in the ones that don't feel that way? Because fundamentally we are made of the same energy of life. Fundamentally, we have the same energy of life flowing through us. Fundamentally, we are made of calm and love and wisdom and all those things that we so often seek outside of us. Fundamentally, that's what's always available to us. But when we look around the world, we can see not only in our own interactions that are difficult and uncomfortable, but in the world as a whole, we can see where interactions between humans are not good, shall we just say? I'll just say not good. People are hurting each other and fighting with each other and disagreeing with each other. In individual cases and in nation or belief, religious belief cases or whatever else it is. that's going on, isn't it? That there's something that's stopping us from seeing this connection that is naturally there. And sometimes you can see that, because sometimes I used to have a friend when I was a kid who was very anti people with a certain colour of skin. But then he met some people and got to know them from that culture and decided he liked them. Something fell away. Something in his belief system fell away. That is available to us all the time, because that's what's separating us. Like, can you imagine if we didn't have any beliefs or thoughts about how other people should behave, or religious beliefs? Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with having religious beliefs, but they are something that makes us see that other people are different to us. If all that fell away, what would there be? There would be this pure connection, because it's only ever that that's getting in the way. Now, clearly there is a transformational journey to be gone on by the whole world, but we're not going to do that right now. That's, if everyone really saw this, if all the people falling out with each other all over the world and hurting each other saw this, started to see through their beliefs, started to for the separation to fall away, that would be transformational. But let's look really at how we are with other human beings. What thinking is separating us from other people? I've thought of one for me that's a classic, and that is, I'm right and they're wrong. My way of doing things is right, their way of doing things is wrong, therefore I can't really be around them because they're just talking nonsense. And I'm laughing because this still rears its ugly head, and this still is a thought process that comes up for me. But I am starting to see the ridiculousness of it. That I would necessarily be right. Clearly, my belief system is desperate for me to be right, but maybe I'm not. Imagine that. Imagine that shock horror. Claire's not right. But as I start to see that, I notice my connections with other people, just like my really firmly held stuff about them, just starts to look a little bit dodgy, really. It looks a little bit, yeah, really, do I really think that? Do I really think they're wrong? Maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Like, there's just a questioning mind there a little bit more. And there's a lot of ease around a questioning mind. There really is. Because things just seem a little bit lighter and we're not holding them quite so tightly. That can be really helpful. So that's one of the things, I'm right and they're wrong. Therefore, I'm separating myself from you because you're not behaving the same way as me. You don't think the same way as me. But it is only ever thought and belief and conditioned stuff inside our heads that causes us to see people in a certain way. I mean, to know that how you see another person in the first place is generated by you. I believe you're this kind of person, so I can only see you being that kind of person. That is generated by me. And what happens when we look more and more in this direction of truth, there is a falling away of all that stuff. It just makes less and less sense. And again, as always, the feeling is the guide. If you're riled up, I think I spoke recently about, swallowing the storm. If you are riled up about somebody else's behavior, there is something for you to see, not about their behavior, but there's something to see about what you're thinking about them. Human beings are connected through something that none of us can see, in an energy of life, in a fundamental nature of who we are and how we are. Thought is the only thing that pulls us away from other people. It's like there's a heart, and then we're all going off on our little tributaries off the heart, and it's thought that takes us on that. We all belong together in the heart. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.